Yeah, Jim, I want to ask that I pose one more question. It's really pertinent and it's relating. I got a call during this Zoom meeting. Mine's is set up under my niece's Gianna's name.
Yeah.
And we're trying to do with the tax aspect and all that. And she's had 11 listings previously, etc. But the question that I want to ask is, has there been a first hand encounter of someone that had a criminal background that was denied doing Airbnb? Because can you tell me a little bit about that? Just because her and I are trying to figure out if in fact there's a way for me to set up
Oh yeah,
apart from
definitely.
her.
Definitely. In fact, let's see. There's some people I can mention by name because they're good with it, and there's some people that I can't.
Yeah.
There's one scenario where I had a student, and this was like my first experience with it. And that's why I was like, wait, like that's when I started putting that big thing disclaimer in there. Like before you create a listing, if you have any criminal background or history, you need to check with me before you do that so that I can show you how to do this the right way. Because this person was up and running, and then about 2-3 weeks later, like and things were going well. I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 weeks, about a month. Everything was going well, and then they signed on one day and they couldn't see any of their information and they couldn't understand why, and was in a panic, like what happened, and I didn't know because I'd never experienced, I'd never heard anything about it before. And then they finally got an answer from Airbnb that said we did a background search, and it showed that there was some history, and we can't, and it's against our policy to allow hosts that have this history. I can't recall what it was specifically, and it was tough because now they had to get someone else to help them. We got it eventually resolved, but they could not be a host. They had to utilize someone else. What I thought was, well, just use your significant other. Again, I wasn't familiar with this process. Back up and running in 48 hours, everything was looking good. And then literally 48 hours later, shut down. Why? Because these companies are very high tech, right? And they recognize that that person was now in that other account managing those listings. And not only that other account that got set up, and it had the same IP address and all this other stuff that they had tracked, and said, nope, we recognize that this is still the same. You cannot have any listings in your name or be a host or a co-host on listings. The reason is for them, they're erring as much as possible on the side of caution. And this situation was something that happened many years ago. It got resolved, and the way it got resolved was then we had to kind of learn how they, what they're thinking. So same thing, someone else that they trusted, no IP, no, they're not in there anywhere doing anything inside their account, right? And they're still up and running now. So
But let
then
me
going forward, Mo, no, who was it? There were a couple other situations. So that was one specifically. I'm telling you that one where that was my first experience ever. And then there was another one, I can't recall who, honestly. Like I hadn't yet at that point put out, anything. Well, if you had a criminal history, because I was like, okay, well, what are the chances of that happening? And then maybe 6 months later, it happened again. I was like, oh shoot. But now we know how to deal with this. All right, don't do anything. Let me show you how to handle this. We got it up, boom, got it up and running, right? And they were good.
So Jim, it's under Gianna's name. However, I have my phone number under the profile. You think that's
Okay.
yeah?
That's
Now,
okay.
what about this? Because Taina just said the other day like that we could probably put it or have it transferred to my PayPal. Now that would be my name.
That's okay.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, you'd never been shut down before,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you never been shut down, so they don't have a criminal background check on you. And obviously, your situation, whatever it was, I mean, you've shared it. You've shared your testimony, which is great testimony. People make stupid mistakes sometimes. People have issues. That's not who they are. The
Yeah.
reason why they're erring on the side of caution, because everybody ain't you. There are
Right.
some crazy people out there.
But just for legalities, I can set up my PayPal so that the
Yes.
Airbnb is sending it to my account as opposed to hers, because it's been a headache for her having to
Yeah.
transfer it to me.
Yeah. You should be able to set up your or your PayPal or your bank account.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you very
and
much.
then all she's doing is just changing the bank account so that's going to be routed to someone else.
Well, I'm actually operating it, totally. So, I'm
Yeah.
operating as her.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
actually in her account and all that stuff.
Sure.
All
Sure.
right, good. Right.
Thank you
So
guys
because
so
they
much
haven't
for all the
done,
answers.
yeah, so they haven't done a background. So you're good. You're good. You're welcome.